These front end parts have 1-star reviews. People say they snap, they don't fit, and in one case, well, they literally pulled someone off the road into the ditch. So naturally, we're gonna install them on my car. That's right, this is my $300 Subaru Forester. Now in my previous video, I showed why this car was a $300 car because I literally had to pull the entire engine out and reseal it and do a whole bunch of extra maintenance stuff to it just to keep it afloat. But all that stuff literally doesn't matter if the suspension ends up killing me. Or this axle decides to snap. But now that I think of it, this still has the potential to kill me because I bought the cheapest front-end replacement parts that money could buy. So we got CV axles for the driver's side and the passenger side. And honestly, overall, I was looking at the pictures online. I was really skeptical on buying these because of how they looked in the photo. But when they showed up, they actually don't look that bad. The only weird thing is joint. It's a little grindy feeling. I'm just gonna assume that the grease just probably hasn't worked its way into the bearings yet. Fingers crossed. And here are the reviews. Now these axles were the Sketchy. You know it's a bad deal when you can't pronounce the actual brand of the axle. So Sketchy, it's like skidoo, like skidoo, but Sketchy. The axle shaft is actually like discolored and it looks like it came like from a used axle shaft or something. Kind of a weird thing. It's probably one of those axles that were like designed in those huts, you know, the India huts. Rebuild everything when they're barefoot. Sean Smith says, wrong, did not fit. Not durable. Got a little over 2,000 miles on them and they are worse off than the ones that I replaced. Now these were the reviews that I was a little bit worried about right here. Mike Sloan said, dangerous. 130 miles after installing U-joint on the hub side came apart. Flung out bearings, locked up, and yanked my car off the road into the ditch. Extreme safety hazard. Do not buy. And then a Vince Bancroft, do not buy, came apart after 3 weeks. But now playing the cheap challenge, is it really going to be worth it? Yeah, I don't know. And these are the ball joints, which strangely enough, didn't show up in any packaging. It just showed up in the Amazon bag of all things, just dancing around in there. But it did include a new bolt and a cotter pin. And then I noticed right from the get-go, you can't even move this stud. You can't force it one way or another, which is kind of strange. And not only that, is there's just no markings on it. There's not a number. It showed up in that bag, and I pulled this boot down, and what is that? Just a little bit of rust buildup? So this might be a gamble. Now these ball joints came from a company called A Premium, which it's kind of funny because they didn't even show up in a box, which is kind of bizarre. So A Premium ball joints, a 2-pack, mind you. Here are the reviews. Augustine 822, they no good, 1 star. They are trash. This seemed like a bizarre one. They'll fit in with an air hammer. Destroyed the old joints trying to get them out. Then to find the new ones don't want to go into the knuckles. Had to force them in so the future maintenance will be just more work. Pay a little more and get some quality ball joints. Yeah, let's hope we don't have to air hammer these things in. Quality, 1 star. Part broke in less than 2 months of purchase. Ball joint is exactly 2 millimeters too deep. Therefore, it doesn't fit into the control arm and the retaining bolt doesn't align into the new channel. It really screwed me. Now I don't have a car to buy the right part with. Julian Alejandro Ortiz Medina, 1 star. These ball joints do not work. It only works for 3 months. The noise was terrible. I do not recommend them. So, we're gonna put these parts to the test today. Here are the rules. Rule number 1, install these parts correctly without any issues and then take it for a test drive. And rule number 2, don't die, period. The real challenge was to see if we could fix this car for as cheap as possible. So let's get to it. All right, let's get this old ball joint out and see if it makes or breaks me here. Because sometimes these things can get stuck in there good and not want to come out. Hey! All right, can we get lucky for 2? That is the real challenge. Oh, piece of cake. And to think I was almost gonna be worried about that. All right, the ball joints are now removed, and you can see just how shot they were. Now let's get the axles out and see if that fights us. Pretty sure it's gonna go good. Well, this axle has seen better days. This is the thing that's clicking when it's going around the corner here. You can see all the grease. It's pretty much leaked out of the thing and dried out. No bueno. Now that 1-star review that RCR had left was ball joint was exactly 2 millimeters too deep, therefore it didn't fit in the control arm, and the retaining bolt didn't line up. You can kind of see what he means. I haven't tried to install it yet, but take a look. This is the old ball joint, and this is the new ball joint. And as you can see, if you line these two channels up, you can see this new ball joint actually sits down quite a bit more than the old joint. So that might pose a problem going in. This one does hump up a little bit, so this one should fit. I think it's gonna be okay. Fingers crossed that this actually does work. Now for the axles, everything is lined up here. This one looks pretty darn good. It maybe is a hair larger on the old one in length, but this joint is probably compressed a little bit too, so this should be stretched out. So everything looks good to install. So let's reinstall it and hope nothing goes wrong. Yeah, it's that easy. All right, moment of truth. Was Mr. RCR right about these ball joints not being able to fit? Let's see what happens. Okay. I mean, it's in. Could go up a little bit more. A bit of tap here. Oh. Perfect. Now let's just make sure we can get the bolt in there. So far, myth busted. It fit in the knuckle, and it fit in the control arm with the castle nut tightened down. 1-star review debunked on the ball joints so far. Let's get the other side in. All right, so did we debunk the 1-star review on the A Premium ball joints? Part 1, did they fit? Ta-da! Ta-da! The cotter pin went in perfectly too. So now according to the Skidamarinky-Doo 2 axles, did they have fitment issues? No, they didn't either. They actually were pretty easy to install and they worked pretty good. Yay! 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 All right, now with the install complete comes challenge number 2, don't die. So let's get the wheels back on and take it for a spin. Now for part 2, will they break? Let's find out. But first, we need gas. Bad. All right, we got some gas. And now it's time for the adventure. Let's see what happens. It's a moment of truth. Oh. Is that normal? "24 miles in, nothing has broken yet. So far, so good." "50 miles now, still no breakage." Currently 73.9 miles. Everything's going smoothly. So let's do a stress test. Okay, yeah, I really don't have an idea for a stress test, but I'm just gonna turn the wheel one way and do a whole bunch of circles because I feel like that would be the most stressful thing on a joint, other than taking it off-road, but it's negative 10 degrees right now and I have nowhere to go to take this thing off-road. Let's just do my made-up stress test. All right, that probably didn't do a thing, but if anything's gonna rip, it's gonna be a full lock. Let's get this thing up to 100 miles. Once we hit 100, we'll check everything. All right, guys, well, it happened. We're at 99.9 miles. And wait, I guess nothing happened. So nothing's broke, nothing's ripped, nothing popped out. It didn't throw me into the ditch and lock up. Let's go back to the shop. We'll see if anything in depth is ripped or broken on the suspension. Onward to the shop. Okay, 102.7 miles in. Now let's get this thing in the air and see if we've debunked those 1-star reviews. First up, the ball joints. Here's the passenger side ball joint. No rips in the boot. Everything looks good there. Is it loose? Nice and tight. Let's check the driver's side. Nice and tight. Other than a bunch of road debris, everything looks great. And now the axles. This joint looks really good. Nothing spewing out with oil. This part of the axle joint looks really good too. Passenger side as well. And the inboard one looks great too. So are these 1-star review parts actually garbage? I'm gonna say 1-star review busted. I mean, yeah, time will tell, but honestly, these things all installed really good and everything feels good on the road, so I don't really see any issues here. So I think they are a okay part to put on. Surprisingly enough, it was kind of hard to find the worst quality parts online for this thing. Everything seemed to be pretty good. So there you have it, folks. If you like this kind of content, consider subscribing. And if you have any ideas what we could do with the Scrapperoo, shoot me a comment below and we'll try to make a video on it. Until then, we will catch you in the next one. Okay, bye.